everybody, and welcome to our training program for this year. We're going to be looking at 3 different situations that you might be getting into, and we're going to try and find some solutions to help you out. The first situation that we're going to look at is why an auto scrubber is not picking up water from the floor. The second situation is why there's not enough water flow on the floor. And then the third situation we're going to be looking at is why a propane polisher is not starting. Thank you for listening.
Let's take a minute to identify the various models that we might see. During this video, I will be mentioning certain details that are particular to each of these models. This is the Minuteman E20, Noble's SS5, Tennant 5400, Tennant 5700. Let's start with reasons why an auto scrubber is not picking up water. Always respect proper cleaning methods. For example, make sure a dust broom is passed before passing the auto scrubber. And remove dirt completely. Any dirt left behind will only cause more problems, like getting caught under the squeegee and leaving dirty streaks. Blocking squeegee passages, clogging hoses, and the float cage. Or worse, this dirt can be sucked up into the vacuum motor, rendering it totally useless, adding costly repairs that can be avoided. On the 5400, E20, and SS5, the float cage is inside the recovery tank. Inside this cage, 2 balls are designed to float as the level of dirty water rises and eventually blocks the passages and protects the vacuum motor. Using a hose, rinse out the reservoir and float cage mechanism. On the bigger machines such as the 5700, there is a float switch that will protect the vacuum motor by shutting it off if the dirty water rises too high. Make sure the float mechanism is clean and moves freely. On this same machine, have a look at the vacuum filter to make sure it is not full of debris. A clogged filter will not allow air to pass and no suction will be created. These filters are reusable and can be washed. Using the vacuum on the machine, suck excess water out of the filter. Then leave upside down to thoroughly dry before reusing. A couple other suggestions would be to wipe the dirt off of the squeegee blades. And make sure that the cap is secure on the recovery tank drain holes to prevent loss of suction. We will now identify why there is no clean water flow. Make sure you are putting water in the proper reservoir. Fill to the maximum capacity. Add the correct amount of soap. We have received many service calls for lack of water flow, and the cause is too much soap in the water. Too much soap creates a slimy substance that clogs the screen filter. The smaller the machine, the greater the chance this will happen. To remedy this problem, remove the filter cap. Be careful not to lose the rubber gasket. Locate the filter bowl underneath your machine. This one is for the SS5. This one for the 5400, and finally for the E20 models. Then, carefully remove the screen filter and pass it under hot water. Here is a trick you can use to help clean out the water lines. Make sure the water flow adjustment is at full flow on the E20 SS5, and the 5400. We will now quickly see what we can check if the propane polisher won't start. Before starting a propane polisher, always check the oil level. Make sure the machine is lying flat on the floor. Remove the dipstick, wipe off the tip. Reinsert the dipstick into the filler tube, but do not screw the cap down. Pull dipstick back out and check the oil level. It should be close to the top line but not above. Adjust level by adding oil. Then recheck the level again, being careful not to overfill. Make sure the attachment hose for the propane tank is screwed straight and all the way in. Open valve on the tank. The throttle lever should be all the way to the minimum. Squeeze the operator presence handle for engine to start and run. Turn the ignition key. On the iGo machines, you will have to pull upwards on the choke knob to start the engine. Once the engine starts, push the knob back down completely. If the engine does not start within 3 seconds, release the key and try again. This is normal, especially if the engine is cold. Once the engine has started, allow the engine to warm up for at least 3 minutes before starting to polish. Some machines, such as this Onyx, are equipped with a fuse box. If the engine does not start or starts but the pad does not turn, remove the 4 screws in the cover, giving access to the fuses. Inside the fuse box, there are 3 fuses for the various functions, and there are 3 additional fuses for spare. Look in the window of the fuse to see the U-shaped conductor joining the 2 external terminals. These fuses are color-coded for the correct value and must be replaced with the same color. On the left side of the machine, make sure the battery terminals are tight, the plug is secure, and the spark plug wire is pushed firmly onto the spark plug. Do the same for the spark plug wire on the other side. Check the red wire for the charging circuit and the wires on the starter solenoid. This completes our video. Thank you.